So the discussion that we have had with the fund this week is our request to have a larger and a longer facility under the EFF program with really two things in mind. One is that we want to bring permanence in this macroeconomic stability, and the second is we require time and the umbrella under which we execute structural reforms. See, at this point in time, the only thing I would say is that we need at least a 3-year time period, at least, to execute the structural reforms that I've just mentioned. In terms of the quantum and the size of the program, will be premature for me to mention that. We are expecting the IMF mission to be in Islamabad around middle of May, and that's where some of these contours will start developing. What we want to do is to put the sequencing in place, to have EFF in place in the first place, and then indeed make a request for the climate resilience facility. The reason I'm saying we want to sequence it is because that money then has to be used for very specific projects for which we will need monitoring and reporting on that basis. And for that, we actually need to do the homework. But in terms of the intention, yes, we do have the intention to come back to fund for that request. You know, Pakistan is not a country which is, big on emissions, but it's really adaptation. And especially around rehabilitation, reconstruction, and everything else that's going on. These are large numbers. And of course, it's a multi-year journey, but we need to start from somewhere. So bulk of our debt is multilaterals, where we have just talked about, fresh inflows which are coming in to replenish what the existing facilities are. And then we have bilat. And as far as the bilat stuff is concerned, bulk of this, including the China debt, is being rolled over. So in that sense, I think we are in good shape, and I don't see a big issue neither during this fiscal year nor during next fiscal year, because we need to repay roughly $20 to $25 billion every single year. Okay. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I know.
I see a lot of opportunity to actually prioritize this with the World Bank Group, and not only from the bank, but also through IFC. And then at some point in time, once our ratings are better, to also access international capital markets for green bonds. As you know, the country actually did the inaugural green bond, and that was for a parastatal, a public utility, and that was a few years back. At that time, the issuance size was $500 million, but it was 6 times oversubscribed. So the investor appetite is there. But now coming back to your question, I think during the next fiscal year, it will probably be challenging because we have to come back into a certain rating environment. We have also initiated that discussion with the rating agencies actually since this morning, and we're going to be talking to other rating agencies just to show our progress and the fact that we make further progress with them and get re-rated during next fiscal year. But in all likelihood, any international capital market issuance is probably going to be 25-26 fiscal year.